Welcome to ZooCast, a MetaZoo podcast with your hosts, Dean and Matt.
What is happening, MetaZoo heads, and welcome back to the ZooCast, the MetaZoo podcast, formerly known as the MetaZoo Nation podcast. My good friend Matty and I thought it was time to revive that MetaZoo is back, baby. So without further ado, Matty, how are you, brother?
I am great, especially now after seeing your face. And it is good to be back.
It is good to be back, isn't it, bro?
And talking about MetaZoo again.
And talking about MetaZoo, man. It feels good. It was a tumultuous time away from the mic discussing MetaZoo in depth. So looking forward to cruising on the airwaves again, chatting nothing but the zoo, especially with this revive, man. Like, God, it's
insane.
Phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. And we got a lot to talk about tonight to cover it. But Matty made a good point. And, we should really sort of start at the start. And that's not the start of the old MetaZoo. That is, the start of the new MetaZoo. So it's probably the right thing to do, to talk about the new owners of the game and then the company that's looking after the licensing of that game. So everybody's clear, and I think it's a pretty cool name. The company that bought the MetaZoo IP after it went bankrupt under Mike Waddell is a company called MetaZoo. And I remember when I saw that initially, I was like, I kind of had a chuckle. I was like, oh, is that actually the company that's buying it? And then now when I think about it, and you see it on the bottom of the new cards, right down the bottom, it says MetaZoo LLC. Now that I see that on the cards, I'm like, it is genius.
Isn't it?
It actually is. It's a genius idea. It's kind of like, it's kind of a bit of an FU to the old guys, which I also like because, they cooked us. So
yep, they did. It's a bit of a nod and a wink.
Yeah, a bit of a nod and a wink and say, thanks, boys. We'll take it from here.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, MetaZoo is a company that is owned by a wonderful bloke called Charlie Herlocker. And then also it's backed and owned by a group of investors as well. We don't know too many of them. Catch 'em all collectibles. He's confirmed himself to be one, whilst only a minute shareholder in that company. But it's exciting. It's exciting that they're the company behind it. It's more exciting the company that they have licensed everything that they bought, and that company is called GameCubator Labs, and that is headed and owned by the one and only, and if you don't know him, you do now. His name is Rick Aaron. So he was the former CEO of, or vice president, I should say, of Wizards of the Coast for 8 years. That was back in Pokemon's heyday when Wizards of the Coast had the Pokemon license. And then he was the executive vice president of the Pokemon Company for 20 plus years. Now, if that isn't, the crown jewel or the king of TCGs, at least in the Pokemon space, which is the king, I don't know who is. Like, Matty, is there anybody on this planet you could think better suited to that position?
It could not be in safer hands for that executive vice president position than the guy that's carried and overseen Pokemon for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Every TCG that comes out obviously strives to get to that level of Pokemon, and you've literally got the former vice president of the company as your CEO.
That's it, bro. Huge. It's one of those things, right? If you could have scripted it yourself, you'd go, oh, who would be good to buy MetaZoo? And you go, oh, I don't know, the Pokemon Company? Like, exactly, they seem to do a pretty good job, right? That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, the next best thing happens. You've got the guy that basically headed it up for technically 28 plus years, and Pokemon's only been around for 29. So, have a look at that. He's been involved. Then obviously GameCubator Labs has got Charlie Herlocker. So the owner of MetaZoo actually is the director of business development for GameCubator Labs, and he was also one of the founding members of CGC Grading Cards, card grading, I think, more so. And then you've got Richard Garfield and Scaff Elias. Now, our Magic the Gathering listeners might know who those two chaps are. Richard Garfield being the original designer of Magic the Gathering and Scaff being the senior vice president of its R&D department. Matty, it just gets better, bro. It just gets better. You go from the king of Pokemon, and then you've obviously got Charlie Herlocker, the TCG gun. Charlie's done a lot of stuff, TCG related in his life. Very, very successful within the space, that's for sure. And then you've got Richard Garfield and Scaphalias, the godfathers of Magic the Gathering, the oldest TCG of all time.
It is literally Avengers Assemble. That's what they've done.
Yes,
they have literally gone and like, all right, we're gonna bring this TCG back, and we're going to hit it out of the block straight away. Yeah. And what do we need for that? All right, we need former vice president of the Pokemon Company. Yep, tick. CGC, one of the guys that started CGC card grading. Yep, tick. Oh, what's good gameplay? Magic the Gathering. All right, research and development and the original designer of gameplay. Let's get them.
Yeah. What trading card game has basically been around the longest and played for the longest and has hinged its entire existence off gameplay? Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering. Perfect.
Gathering.
Yeah. Done. Cool. Yeah. So that sets the scene for what is to come for MetaZoo over the next couple of years, and I'm excited, brother.
Oh, me too. It can't be understated how huge that team is. The team at Game Incubator Labs, how good they are. The star power there. Is, the TVs there are insane.
Yeah, you know what I can talk to is, so they're the guys, they're your head honchos, right? You know, they're the guys with the experience and all that. But being a moderator in the actual MetaZoo Discord, I work with a couple of the other guys that work for GQL, a couple of the game designers, and Travis, who manages, socials and all that sort of stuff. And those guys, as part of the GQL team, are also phenomenal. Like I know it's only relatively new, but they are like the unsung heroes. Those guys absolutely grind it out. They've crushed it. I've worked with them on a couple of things, and they're phenomenal. So from the top down at GQL, it is just a all-star lineup, MVP-driven team all day, every day.
It is 100%, and it's what MetaZoo needed.
I think it was the only option for it to have a real chance. It needed a real team. I think, this team is like the dream team, right? Like this is the NBA dream team, like the best in the business have managed to pick up MetaZoo. It's the perfect result for us as original fans.
It is. It's funny when you looking back at it now, before MetaZoo went under originally, or even just after that had happened, and there was all the rumors of the buyouts, and the name that kept getting thrown around was Bandai, and everyone was so excited that Bandai could come in and get it. And this shits all over that.
It does. I agree.
Bandai can't hold a torch to it.
This is
better than anyone could have imagined, and I don't think people realize how good the team is.
Yeah. But I think they will. And I think a lot of people have, more so in the US, because they've received a lot of their product. The rest of the world hasn't. We're all still waiting, and it's on the way. But I think in the US, like a lot of people have, there's always going to be haters, right? It's funny looking at the Facebook forums and that. It's the same bored dingbats that are just like crying and whinging about the same old shit. It's like, get a grip, bro. But it's everybody else is having a good time. The funny thing is, brother, is I've got people coming in the store asking about MetaZoo that did not know or did not care for it originally. They have asked me what's the origin story. There's obviously an origin story involved, but they've seen what I've shown and gone, I like that. Like, I really, really like that. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time in the space, and that's why when you said let's podcast again, brother, I was like, okay.
I think I've been trying to plant the seed for a little while, and then
bro. It's like, man, I'm just talking about MetaZoo. I was like, yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah. I'm just fucking busy, bro.
yeah, one of the busiest men I know, that's for sure.
But it feels good. I'm glad we got here, brother. We got to sit down. I'm glad you pushed me, and I'm excited to just yarn about MetaZoo all day, every day. And who knows? Maybe one day we might get Danny James back on here if he's got a spare night kicking around and wants to chat shit with the boys.
Can you imagine the original trio back together?
It'd be hella fun, but yeah, he's basically a professional AFL player now, I think. So he doesn't have time to talk about MetaZoo anymore. He just plays
Professional D-League player,
yeah, in the D League there.
Yeah.
Love you, Danny. Love you, brother. Miss you. Call me. Call me. All right, let's talk. Let's move into more general discussion. We've covered, the team that are taking care of it and the phenomenal job that they've done. But the products that they have released, the product that they have released looks absolutely phenomenal. And it's an interesting talking point, right? Because they have basically released one SKU for their base set. We have no idea what the print runs are. I have it on strong authority. We won't know what the print runs are. That won't be information that's released. And I think that is actually great. When I heard that, I was like, I concur. I think that's a brilliant idea. It's not something people need to know. All it does is drive investment speculation and market manipulation. So I was like, you just don't need that out there. So they've only done. They don't tell you how many of each product is released. Pokemon, Magic, big ones don't. Big ones don't. Flesh and Blood do. So Pokemon don't. One Piece don't. Bandai doesn't release any information. The Pokemon Company doesn't release any information. Neither does Wizards of the Coast. But a lot of the indie TCGs do. Because in all honesty, I think they do because they need to drive that investment speculation.
They thrive on that. That's what kind of keeps them going.
Kick them off. Yeah. And I mean, who knows? Who knows? Mike Waddell always said there was only 2,500 Kickstarter booster boxes, and they just keep turning up. Yeah. So I don't know.
An awful lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I still got 3, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've got one still. Keep it for good memories, I guess.
Should we open it? Should we just crack one now? Crack one each. Have a bit of a laugh.
Just open one for shits and giggles.
But back to the point anyway. They're booster boxes that they've done. This is an interesting one too because they originally had a booster box artwork that they showed the community, and this is like what it was going to be. Actually, technically, they didn't show it. Some guy in Spain somehow got an image from his distribution company and put it up on eBay, and that was the first thing we saw. It was a red box.
Kind of similar to the CN1 box. It gave you CN1 vibes.
It did. Yeah. But it didn't really land with everybody else. So after a bit of community backlash, they turn around and at the drop of a hat, maybe a couple of weeks before it actually released, they popped up with the new box, which has some on the front. Yeah, it's a good color. I love it. I think they've nailed it. I think the red box would have been cool. I had no issues with it myself. Yeah. But yeah, I think this new one absolutely smoked it. And then they've done what I don't think has ever been done before. They've got a alternate art booster box. So there's a chase factor in there for people that purchase sealed cases. Yeah. Obviously, that's the only way around it, right? You can't assume that a store is going to open a sealed case, and if they happen to get one of those boxes, which seem to be one in every 10 to 15 cases, so they are very scarce, you would assume that the shop is going to keep that one for themselves. Why wouldn't they? Let's just be honest. Why wouldn't they? They're a store.
Well, they're opening the case and selling the boxes. Sure, yeah. Of course, keep that box, sell it for a premium. But what I just hope doesn't happen is any stores open. I purchase a case, they open my case, look, and then reseal it and send it to me. That's what I hope doesn't happen. You always have your bad eggs that'll do that.
You'd have to get a refund.
You'd have to. But also, that's why you buy from reputable people.
Well, that's it. That's like you. You bought 2 sealed cases from me, and you're going to get 2 sealed cases, and then you're going to tell me if you got any alternate art boxes in there, because you and I have both sort of, we want one each. That's the goal. That's the box that I want to keep sealed. But that's really cool. No one's ever done that. It's also worth noting that particular alternate art box comes with a box topper booster pack that has 4 exclusive promos. So it is a little different. It's not just the artwork on the outside. It does have some cards in there that you can only get from said booster box. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I believe they've been dubbed the Shadow Rares from that box topper, which is a pretty cool name.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
So it was good to see one of our friends, Blaine Mothhawk, on YouTube wound up actually getting a poncho box, but his was pretty badly dinged up. So he's like, I'm just going to open it. So
Which
he
was
opened it. Yeah, it was so good to see it actually opened, and he's got those cards. Yes. Yeah,
it was unreal. Really, really cool. And it's worth noting that the booster boxes used to be, the original booster boxes from MetaZoo LLC, they were 36 packers, whereas now they are 24 packs, which I prefer. I prefer that kind of makeup. I like the one piece sort of makeup.
That's the same as one piece, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, in this, what you get 11 cards in a pack plus like the aura and the was there a code card in there? I can't even remember.
No code card. No.
So, I like this makeup. I've opened some of the product and I think what they've done has nailed it. They've hit the nail right on the head for sure.
Oh, definitely. I think that's helped by the pull rates that are in the boxes as well.
Yeah. And it is interesting, as I mentioned right at the start of this, that it is the only SKU. There's no spellbook or ETB-like product where you can get less packs. There's no blister packs. There's no triple blister packs. There's no particular theme decks based around this set just yet, where there is a pre-constructed 2-player deck that we'll talk about shortly.
I think there's a couple of variants of it as well.
Well, so my understanding is this deck, right? It's basically a starter deck, but you can make 2 decks out of it.
Ah, right. Yes.
When I say make 2 decks out of it, you can make 2 different types of full decks. So you've got extra cards. So realistically, it's like one starter deck, but you can run it as 2 different style decks. But you can also break it down into 2 smaller decks to actually just learn to play the game.
Yeah. So it's called the Break Charge Flex deck.
Yeah, flex deck.
Yeah.
Because you're meant to be able to. Yeah, you're meant to be able to. I think it's a 50 card deck for the game normally, but you can break. I think that's like 60 cards or something in that deck, and you break it down into
80 cards.
80. There you go. So you break it down into 2 40 card decks, smaller than normal, and you can play each other and learn to play. So I think that's a genius move to be the only other SKU. Does that come with any extra booster packs, Matty? I don't think so.
What I'm looking at now, it's a lightning and fire deck. Lightning and fire. No, I don't think it does.
I didn't think it did either. I'm pretty sure it's literally just there to teach people how to play the game. So I think they've done a really good job. They've got a lot.
80. So it comes with 80 cards. It includes 1 super rare foil card, 2 super rare foil cards, a full 53 card playable deck, 10 aura cards, 15 extra cards for flexible play, a deck box, a 2-player play mat, and 3 booster packs. So there you go. Does come with some booster packs.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, that'd be great to just get one of them in hand each and kind of manipulate a deck and open your packs to add some extra cards to your deck for a bit of difference.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. I really think it's a smart move too in terms of product. It's the right kind of product.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll be awesome. Looking forward to getting some of those. And then the only other one is the Card Pro magazine, which is it's just I guess it's a magazine talking about MetaZoo and some other stuff, covering a bit of MetaZoo TCGs. But it comes with a sealed promo and alpha booster pack, which is pretty cool. So
I've seen some people open these, and so it comes basically. There's the Card Pro magazine, which talks about TCGs in general. It's actually Card Pro magazine is produced by Game Incubator Labs, so it's one of their own products. So you've got that magazine, and then there's a second magazine that comes with it, which is exclusively about MetaZoo. So it's got the backstory, it's the meet the crew kind of thing. It's got here's all the cards, here's this, here's that, and then it comes with a sealed promo and the alpha deck, that's the smaller deck, isn't it?
Yeah, they're it's alpha proto deck types. I think they're I think it's 20 cards in a booster pack.
Yeah, something like that.
Learn to play the game at least with just those. So that's pretty cool as well. So excited for that. But yeah, that's all we know so far. Like that's all we got for products. They have told us that, so there's 4 aura types currently. And then they've told us with each set release they're introducing a new aura type. We know that water's going to be the next one, which is pretty exciting because that means in set 2, and I think it's already been teased, that Loveland Frogman is coming back.
That's exactly right. I'm excited to see if Chessie makes a return as well.
Chessie, yeah, it'll be cool, man. Like it'll be that's going to be cool. I mean, we should probably still talk about, just the cards in this original set too, because like some of them have absolutely blown my mind. Like the opening experience that you will experience. I know you got to kind of experience it through Whatnot when I was opening packs for you as well. Yeah. But like you're basically getting like a nice hit in every pack almost, and then you've got the reverse hollows, you've got the full hollows, then you've got the full arts, which are like the silver borders, or they think you're calling them the super rares.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, you've got the alternate arts, which are the big sort of hitters. They're the ones you want. That's where the texture comes in. And then on top of that, which we assume is about 1 per case, we don't know for sure, but it seems to be the pull rates, is what's called the hidden rares, which appear to be, as far as we know, I think there's only 5 of them that have been pulled, is like an alternate art, basically.
Case hit. It's the case hit. And I've seen people have talked about 1 or 2 per case. I've seen 1, I've seen 3. So, yeah.
Yeah, we don't really know. We don't know what the pull rates are, and that's great. That's great. That's just like Pokemon, right? Like you just got to kind of rip the packs and see if you get lucky. Like I opened one box that had 1 alternate art in it. I opened a bunch. Every other box I opened had pretty much 2 alternate arts in it.
Yeah.
So
and
that
hidden rare as well.
Yeah, and probably hidden rare too. Yeah, which was cool. So the hidden rares seem to be so far. It's Sun Wukong, Piazza Bird, Bigfoot, and then 2 Mothmen.
Yeah, that's right.
One of which is Kelsey Giacchino's original art, which is unbelievable.
So good to see that back.
When I saw Mothhawk post that, I was like, "Am I being fucking punked? Or have they actually done that?" And
I had to do a double take and make sure it wasn't like a fan created card, just trying to get me really excited.
Yeah, it was such a class move by them. Like I even said to Charlie, like that was genius. Like just a throwback and paying homage to the most loved card of what the original MetaZoo was. That was just brilliant. So really really cool.
Yeah, and all those hidden rares look amazing, and they seem to be holding their value as well, which is great to see. To be honest, all of the stuff I've been looking up has been holding value.
Do you want to run us through a couple of cards and some pricing since you've got it up?
Yeah, of course. So if we just go through some hidden rares. So we've got the Mothman. Let me go to the hidden rares. So the Mothman, not the Kelsey version, the other version.
Which also looks insane, dude. They're calling that one, hey?
That's the one they're calling the Mothbryon.
Yeah, where it's like perched up on the corner of the building and it's got all the symbols around its head.
Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I'd actually love it. And they're sitting around we're talking US dollars, 500 to 700. If I'm looking at these last sold US, which is in Australian dollars, you're talking $1,100 Australian for that.
Yeah.
And then obviously that Kelsey moth, the one we were just talking about, that seems to be the biggest cards. They're hovering around the 1,600 USD, which again, that's 2,600 Australian.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, obviously,
that's the card I want.
Mothman is the poster boy. He is the poster boy, and they look sick, and they're hard to pull. So it makes sense. I do always tell everybody exercise a bit of caution when spending money on, any new pulls. The same goes with Pokemon, right? Pokemon comes out, the chase cards are right up the top, then they fall away, and then with time, natural time, they come back and break all-time highs and continue to move up. Like it's proven fact with particularly Pokemon, but we can only hope that with the team behind this this game's longevity, it'll see the similar sort of thing happen. So hopefully, you guys, if you want them, you can pull one. You don't have to buy one. So
yeah, exactly. Well, just to round out those hidden rares, you've got the Piazza Bird, hovering around the 350 to 400 US mark. Again, that you're talking 550, 650 Australian for him. And then the Sun Wukong, roughly the same price as well. The Bigfoot is the one that's probably the lowest, which is a bit of a surprise given how big Bigfoot is, no pun intended. That's around the 250 US for one of them. Again, it's still $400 Australian for the cheapest hidden rare. So they're definitely holding their value.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Well, we should probably flick over to the Whatnot streams too, Matty, because that seems to be where, you know, a lot of the product has been ripped and shipped and sold. I have been in a few, but I dare say you've been in a lot more, just, you know, with availability. What are some of the things you've sort of seen there? Like what's been happening on those feeds?
So on like release day or the day before release day, you know, the initial first couple of days, kind of just, I was working from home, so just had it up on one screen, keeping an eye on it the whole time. Didn't buy into any of them, obviously, because shipping and stuff like that. Knowing we had our own on the way, I wasn't going to get into it, but it was awesome watching it and just the reaction to everyone. It was just this genuine excitement of seeing the product ripped for the first time. Yeah. It's just genuine excitement. Everyone's happy. The streams constantly had 80 plus viewers. They were solid streams. Everything was selling out.
Like the good old days, baby.
Yeah, exactly right. It was good to see initially people just selling boxes, and they were just selling them boxes or whatever they were in America. 120 USD, they're there to buy now. Rather than doing here's a pack for $1, and all of a sudden packs are going for $20 or $30 each. And then I was in one stream where Caster Society came in and bought the whole lot and then just ran giveaways and gave away boxes.
I think that was like the first stream, right? That was a dude that had it first, because I was watching that stream and then I watched a couple from Lindy, a couple from MetaZoo Crew, a couple from the Zard Exchange, and a couple from on Facebook with like Sino and Ryan. But what it appears to have happened is they've like run out of product. Like in the US, it's still obviously available on the secondary market, but all the guys I talk to that run businesses say distros are out.
Yeah, they've got nothing. I've heard there's started to be another wave possibly coming in. I saw someone put pre-orders up saying there was another wave coming.
That would make sense.
I know who that person was, so I can't take it as gospel. It's not like if one of the guys we knew had said it, you'd be like, yep, right, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, they had a tight turnaround just to produce it. So it would make sense if there was still like printing more product for more to get out there. You know, Charlie has even said so himself. You know, it's not about the product being scarce and expensive, right? Like that, it's not about it selling at MSRP or above. It's about getting as much of this base set into people's hands. Like, so, you know, who knows? I don't know how long they'll print for or when they'll stop, but I'm pretty confident that they'll be looking to get set 2 out, I'd assume, by the middle of the year. So,
do we still think it's kind of the 3 or 4 sets a year, like that? You know, that every 3 or 4 months.
I think so.
Is that what we're thinking?
I think so, brother. I think so, because you look at Magic does it basically every 2 months. Pokemon, I think on average, sit at about 2.5 months. And I think 3 months is probably the sweet spot, especially for a newer game. You know, just one set per quarter works, because you got Sorcery out there doing 1 set a year, and I tell you right now, brother, that don't work.
No, that does not work.
Which is hard, you know, because that game in particular, all the artwork is hand painted artwork, so it's not easy to get 400 hand painted artworks every 3 months. But yeah, at the same time, and when you talk about longevity, I talk about this, you know, I've spoken about it on the Hobby Pod sometimes. You know, it's just, that's 1 set a year, bro, just ain't going to cut it. It's like not. You're just releasing a collectible. You're not a trading card game. So that's where that sits. So I think you know, GQL and MetaZoo will probably look to do, I'd say, 1 per quarter. And if not, you would assume 1 every 4 months would be probably the max.
That's what I was saying, that 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, you could get away with. So you sort of hit it right on the head there. But Yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to our Whatnot streams over at Luna Cards. If you're not following us, guys, Luna_cards on Whatnot. We are the how do I say it? We're a good shop in Australia. So buy your cards off us. We'll look after you.
100%. 100%. If anyone's out there, head down to Luna Cards, jump on their Whatnot, jump on their eBay. Run by a bunch of absolute legends that will.
I was going to say I was going to call myself the number one streamer on Whatnot Australia, but it's just not true. There's so many good streamers here, and I'm so proud of what we've built as an Australian Whatnot community. And I love all the boys and the girls getting around it. So yeah,
look, you don't want to say number one. You probably can say the biggest because you guys were part of the beta testing. So you guys have been there the longest. You guys have the biggest following. That's not a lie.
Look,
I can say it. It's not you blowing your own horn. I can say it.
You say horn? You didn't know I had all this stuff handy, did you?
I didn't realize it was handy right now.
I was waiting for you to crack a joke, and I was going to be like,
oh, this just got even better.
But let's jump over to the pool rates. I'm going to let you run through the pool rates. And I'm just going to throw in comments because you're a big time collector, and again, you've watched probably a bit more of the openings than I have had a chance to. So I'll let you talk to the pool rates and what you've kind of seen, throughout the streams.
Yeah, look, just watching streams and watching you open some product, I feel like having the smaller booster box is fantastic, and the hit rates, the pull rates in it are perfect from what I've seen. You don't have the MetaZoo of old where you get a box full of reverse hollows and you've got absolutely nothing to show for it. You've got none of that. So it looks like, again,
Matty, fuck.
Don't get me started.
Oh, I forgot about that. You've just opened up an old wound, mate, like a World War II wound that I had in my chest. The button knife in there and twisted it. Remember Wilderness Box? Remember Seance? Remember that? Remember mapping and fucking reverse hollow only boxes in Wilderness, and then hollow only boxes in UFO. God.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
So moving into Meta 2, the new boxes. So we're kind of at roughly 2 alt arts per box. Again, that's just an average. On stream the other night, you opened yourself a box and had 1 alt art, and then I think the next box had 3. So,
I did. The next box had 2 alt arts and hidden rare. And so I took an absolute fucking missile for the stream because the alt art I got was just the Rainbow Crow as well. Like it was
Yeah, you took it to a torpedo.
It's a beautiful card, but there's some nice alt arts that I could have got instead of that.
Yeah, exactly right. So it looks like roughly 2 alt arts per box, 1 hidden rare per case, which we spoke about before. And I think was it approximately 8? What are they called? Super rares? Is that what they're called? Super rares? 3.
Which ones? Oh, the full art things. Yeah, the silver border ones. Yeah, super rares. Yeah,
super rares is roughly between 6 and 8 of them in a box.
And they look beautiful, man. Some of those cards, they look sick. I think those will look phenomenal slabbed up. Those full art.
Oh
cards.
yeah,
I think they'll really pop.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously we spoke about before the Poncho alt art booster box is what we're thinking 1 in 10 cases.
Seems to be the roundabout number. Yeah.
And then obviously they've got what they're calling the shadow rare promos in them. But again, the alt arts, even the alt arts are holding good value. We're talking about value before, and I've got some recently sold prices up here. So you look at the Sun Wukong alt art is still going for about 70 USD per card. And so don't forget, you're getting 2 of these alt arts per box.
Yeah.
Again, a Rainbow Crow goes for $30 US, so it's not the same. But you're getting value in your box. If you're ripping stuff and then wanting to sell things that you don't need and all of this stuff, you're getting value in your box no matter what. You will get money back on the secondary market just from offloading those alt arts.
Yeah,
which I think is fantastic because you never realistically, apart from Krypton Nation Nightfall, and then probably Seance with the Hateful Eight. You didn't get that in booster boxes.
Yeah, well, Hateful Eight was no way because it was like clumped. Anyway, remember, like the only way you used to get Hateful Eight was you hit like 5 or 6 in one box.
And I was great to get one of those boxes.
Yeah, same. I got one where I pulled 2 Possessed Auras. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
yeah, exactly right. But yeah, so the value's there as well, which I think is great. And then, the last figure I did have here was those Poncho Alt Art booster boxes. I still hovering around. I'm talking about just the booster boxes themselves. Are still on the secondary going for $2,000 US.
Yeah,
so that's just over $3,000, 3,200 Australian. Like that's huge as well.
Yeah. Pull rates look good. Opening experience looks good. The
how did the packs feel opening them? You do a lot of streaming. You do a lot of pack openings. How did it feel opening those packs compared to other TCGs?
Have you ever opened Sun and Moon era booster packs from Pokemon?
Yeah.
So when you do, basically you go to rip it and it just kind of falls apart. Like not falls apart, but like when you rip it, it rips open.
It rips.
Yeah. Which was nice. It's nice for a streamer on the hands, right? Because when I'm ripping Pokemon packs, like they're tough. Oh, yeah. Like they're hard, right? And same with One Piece. One Piece ones, like you got to really find the right spot and pop it open. So no, they open easy. They feel good. They feel good. I'm into it. I like it. But the artwork's probably the next thing we need to come circle back to. It's something that I think carried the original MetaZoo, without a doubt. Although that said, the artwork for the original MetaZoo was really was.
It was indie.
It was dark, bro. Like, you couldn't. Yeah. It was a struggle to. When I was trying to grow the game here in Australia in the shop and like get people to play it and all that stuff, like adults would froth it. They're like, "This is unreal," but no adult would then turn around and go, "I'm going to show my kid this or get my kid to play this game." Yeah. And kids never really looked at the cards and said, this artwork's cool, or that's really cute, or I like that, or this is fun, or blah, blah, blah. So, I can see with the art direction that they've taken this time, they're definitely catering to both sides of the coin, or like a much larger demographic, like even that card. It hasn't hindered the look of the cards. It hasn't hindered it at all. Yes, you don't have like the dark or the blood or anything like that, but the artwork, hot take, is leaps and bounds better than original MetaZoo. And I know a lot of people, if you go into the Facebook groups and stuff where the toxicity happens, people always complain, but I love the old artwork. I love this. I love that. This is shit. The old artwork's part of it, you tosser. Yeah, that's what I was leading into. Like, what are you talking about? The old art is reused. So stop saying that. Stop just being toxic for the sake of being toxic. No, that's it, man. It's like, oh yeah, but then they pick like, a couple of common cards from the new MetaZoo and they're like, this just looks childish or looks like Digimon. It looks shit. I'm like, and there was cards like that in the original MetaZoo too, bro. And there's cards like that in every fucking Pokemon set or Magic the Gathering set that looks shit too, right? Yeah, like not every card's going to be a fucking hitter. Like that's just not the way it goes. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, like you said earlier as well, I think they literally nailed it by including some of those original artworks. Yeah. Like we'll talk about the Mothman, but there's Griddle Greaser Pete, there's Jersey Devil, there's Kets, there's Piazza Bird, the list goes on. And they are the original artworks. And they look Rat King. Like everyone loves the Rat King because no one could fucking get it when it was a $500 promo. Like, and now everyone can actually get it. The Drop Bear, like you've got all these artworks. Yeah, they're sick. Yeah, I think you got the best of both worlds. You got new art coming in, and they're going to keep reusing old artwork. And if anything, right, the fact that use Kets as an example, so they've reused the original Kets art. If the game succeeds long term and grows exponentially long term, and you get new people coming in. I think those from the original MetaZoo, I think those cards will be sought after again by collectors because that was the first instance of that art
So a sample kits will be sought after highly because of they're reusing that same art in the new set. That's just my take.
No, it makes sense, man. I said this to someone the other day. They were like, should I buy any of the old stuff? And I was like, well, look, it's dirt cheap now. So I was like, you can't go wrong. They're like, yeah, look, I can get like these spell books, like wilderness spell books for like $15 on eBay, which is like, $7 US or something, right? For anybody in the US listening. And I was like, yeah, bro, just like, if you want some, just buy some. Because if the game is long, like its longevity, lasts, at some point, people are going to want to. They're going to want to experience the old stuff, like as an origin sort of piece. They're going to want to go back there and just feel it out. See what it's all about. See what the cards were like, the card stock, the way they look. So it'll have its day at some point. You can only assume.
Yeah, definitely. No, 100% agree with that. And also, like you mentioned before as well, the texture of the old arts is elite. Don't care what anyone says. Cannot change my mind. Fight me. It is elite. It is literally you look at the old arts from the Sword and Shield era that everyone loves, the Moonbryon and the Gengar and all of those cards. It is the same type of texture, and they've hit it out of the park with that texture being different on each of the old arts as well. Yeah, it looks phenomenal, man. They've crushed it. They've absolutely crushed it in terms of artwork. And I think when you look at the user display, I guess, like the HUD of the card, the heads-up display, I think with time that'll become natural, right? Like I remember when you showed me MetaZoo the first time, I was like, get that shit out of my face. It's like red borders, red back. No thanks, bro. Not interested. And then you eventually sent me some packs, and I eventually opened them during COVID, and I was eventually like, these are sick. You know, the more things you have to get in hand,
bro. It's like when Pokemon first introduced full arts, and then they moved to illustration rares and things like that. People initially were like, no, I don't like that. Or like hyper rares, like golds and rainbows. Like, no, blah, 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 something different. I'm so scared. It's not what we're used to.
I don't like change. It's different.
Yeah, and then within 6 to 12 months, bang! It's the fucking best thing since sliced bread, bro. So it'll be the same with this. You just gotta let the dickheads be dickheads and just enjoy your life and move on with it. If you want to open MetaZoo and buy and sell, trade and play the game, then do it. If you don't, then just fuck off, bro. Like, it's pretty simple.
Don't hang around just to
go live your life.
Go live your life. Leave the groups. Leave the Facebook groups. Leave all of them and live your life. Don't just hang around here to literally hang shit on it every time.
That's it. It's just ridiculous. But so I believe you've done a bit of extensive research into the gameplay, Mr. Mathewson.
Extensive is generous, but I'll take it.
It's technically the portion of our notes that has the most notes. So when I'm looking at the fucking run sheet, dude, I'm like, well, actually, Matty, that is, there's a lot in there. So I'm going to sit back and learn something here, and you're going to educate me and the listeners on gameplay. So give us the goss, bro.
Yeah, right. So I spoke with Benjamin Young. For those that know him in the community, he is the legend that created the tabletop simulator mod for the new MetaZoo. So I had a quick chat with him. He's got hundreds of hours of gameplay under his belt at this stage, starting to organize play and stuff as well. And so just a few notes from him. Just said, give us a quick rundown. What are your thoughts? 30,000 feet flying thoughts. What are they? And so his notes were pretty much, there's 4 types now. So you've got air, fire, lightning, earth. Many of the old creatures are still in it, but their aura types have changed. So, like, for example, Jersey Devil is now fire, and Dragon of Akonto, that's right. Dragon of Akonto is earth. That's right. So, bit of a change up. Obviously, with the base set only launching with the 4 aura types, they had to kind of change.
The reality is, bro, like the aura types are a gameplay mechanic at the end of the day. It doesn't dictate anything about the cryptid or like who it is or what it is. So I think it's cool.
Yeah. He did say deck building became super easy because every card has a 3 card per deck limit. Whereas, in Retro Zoo, some cards could have 8 in one deck, other cards can only have 1 in one deck, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Whereas this is,
I think they've nailed that. Even the way this game plays, I think they've nailed it. And I would compare the way this plays to a mix between Magic, like standard Magic, and Disney Lorcana. Because basically what you're doing is Magic doesn't really have lanes as such, but you're basically utilizing lanes and cryptids within the lanes to either clear the lane from your opponent and then exhaust it and gain mission points, or you're using the lane to protect and stop their cryptids from gaining mission points. So Lorcana is a similar game in that aspect, right, where you need to ink cards, get cards out, and then those cards you can either choose if they're going to be exhausted to gain lore, or if they're going to attack another creature to destroy it to stop it from gaining lore for the opponent. And it's actually really fun. Like, Lorcana is probably one of the funnest games I've played. So the fact that this new MetaZoo setup leads into that, I think with time, people are going to absolutely froth it, and especially from a competitive aspect.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a little bit because MetaZoo did just release on their YouTube the Let's Play series. So you can see, there's the 9 videos, I think, and they go through a gameplay. We'll talk about that after.
Cool.
He did say there is, like you were kind of just saying as well, there's a very low barrier to entry to learn, whereas the old MetaZoo was hard to learn. If you were just trying to teach something, it was next to impossible.
It was hard. You'd have to play an exhausting number of games before the other person would be confident in saying, "Thank you, you've taught me the game, and I feel like I can go teach somebody else."
Yeah, I pretty much watched Metabros videos every time they came out with their gameplay videos, and that's how I learned. But it took many hours of watching that to understand it. So he was saying this has got a low barrier to entry, but it's got an extremely high skill cap, so a very high ceiling. So there's that range.
Yep.
There's a lot of room for synergy and combos with the 4 colors that are available. So obviously the 4 aura types, but it again takes proper planning, correct turn actions to execute that. Again, that's the same as TCG.
I love that though. That kind of leads into Flesh and Blood, because that's kind of the same. It's a very combo orientated game where you're sort of planning a couple of steps ahead on what it is you're going to do, which is again really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to finding the time, and I think it's going to be when I have product in hand and I can actually grab Luke, one of my business partners who runs our play department, and be like, let's sit down and let's play some games. Like, let's kind of crush this and grind it out. So looking forward to coming back for another episode and talking about my gameplay experience, because I did enjoy playing original MetaZoo, but by God, it was not easy to master or learn.
Definitely not. One of the biggest changes, which I think is fantastic, is your aura is now in a separate deck. So you've basically got your deck of cards and your aura. So every turn you get to bring an aura onto the playing field. Whereas how many times have you played a game, Dean, of old MetaZoo where your game is over before it started because you draw no aura? So you literally just sit there and you're not getting any aura, you're not drawing anything, and you're fucked from the beginning. You just call it quits. Whereas this, you have your aura deck there. Every turn you bring an aura out onto the field. So after 10 turns, all your aura are out on the field. Same for both of you. It evens it up. It doesn't bring it down to chance of pulling an aura, which I think is fantastic.
One Piece and Dragon Ball adopt that similar sort of resource gain as well. So they've literally, the boys, the team that in the R&D department and the game development department have absolutely crushed it. And I haven't even played a game yet, and I can just tell from my game experience across multiple different TCGs that this is going to be fun. So any butt sniffer out there saying the gameplay looks shit or it looks trash, I know you haven't looked into it or you haven't played a game, because this is I haven't even played a game yet. You're telling me about it, and this is a home run, brother.
Oh, 100%, dude. And the last note I have is he did say there are a few dominant decks at the moment. You expect that, of course, but them being combo decks, so earth and air, fire and air, fire and lightning. But obviously, the meta will settle once.
Well, that's always to be expected at the start of any game, though. One Piece was very similar on its trajectory. When the combo card pool is so limited, that's where you're at. Like that's basically, you don't have that many choices.
Yeah, no, completely agree. So they're just a few brief notes he gave me without going into too much detail. But it gives us kind of an overview of gameplay, given we haven't actually created decks and had a chance to play ourselves. I'm looking forward to coming over to Melbourne in July for Collect Best and get to bang out a few games with you.
Round of applause for the big fella, because that was you killed that segment. That was
you're making me blush.
Absolutely crushed it, brother. That was I'm excited. That was something that I haven't had the time to look into it. But I'm being dead honest. Like I work 70 hours a week minimum, right? And I've got a 15-month-old and a wife that still need my love and attention. Like I don't have enough time to scratch myself between podcast, streaming, running the business, and family time. So I haven't been able to put the time into the gameplay that I want to. And what you just put to me there is I'm excited. Yeah.
And if I circle back to what I was mentioning before as well about MetaZoo just released effectively their gameplay videos. Have you watched them yet?
I watched some of the original ones, right? So when they dropped that showcase video a little while back, they also put a couple of gameplay videos on then. And I watched those, but I haven't watched any of this series that you're talking about now, where it's a bit more in depth. But if it's any extension of those original videos, I'm sure they're just packed full of valuable information.
Yeah, it is. It is an extension of them, and it's literally from memory. It is 9 videos, and it walks you through every step of the gameplay. It is. I'm just looking at it now. It's 9 videos, with the last video being all right. Here's a game. It obviously doesn't go back and forth for the whole game, because it could be a 30-minute video, and they're kept around that 2 minute mark for quick and easy viewing. It's a must-watch. For anyone that's interested, jump onto I think it's MetaZoo TCG on YouTube, and it's a 9-part series. Doesn't take long to watch, and I watched that and I was fucking hyped.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get around it. I am going to have to get around it. You better believe it. It. So the team at GQL, what are they building, Matty?
They've got some foundations they're laying, that's for sure. So what they've done, they've given MetaZoo the best chance at mainstream success by bringing the TCG in line with the other modern giants, being Pokemon, One Piece, Lorcana, Dragon Ball, etc., Flesh and Blood. And that's where a lot of the complaints come from. Oh, it's just like X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's if you want the game to succeed and you want it to be mainstream, a big mainstream success, you have to take the best parts from each game and create your own. So, no, it's not the same as them.
No,
they've taken the best parts and made their own thing and be like, this is us.
I can't remember who it was, but I remember seeing something on Facebook and somebody said, there's just like this game and that game. It's not even unique. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're saying they've taken, this part from that game, 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 all these different games, and they've put it into one to create a unique game. It is exactly unique. Right. Like you said it yourself. Like that's that's the delusion, I think, in some of the comments and shit I see online right now. I'm like, bro, you guys need to think before you speak, brother, because that don't make sense. That don't compute. And people just want to hate because they want to hate, or they got burned the first time around. I got fucking burned more than half these people, right? I got left with a fat hole in my wallet because I covered everybody's expenses that had pre-orders outstanding from MetaZoo that bought through me, right? Yeah. I've been burned more than half these people that are out there sooking and sulking about it, and I still got pallets worth of sealed cases of product that they wouldn't even dream of ever owning. You don't see me bitching and moaning about it, man. I'm just out of here having a good time, living my life, playing games I like to play, and sell cards I like to sell.
Yeah.
So, right. Buckle up, boys.
I think that the team over at GQL, like I said, they're building their foundations to something that can can and I think will be huge.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
The last couple of dot points that weren't necessarily on the run sheet, but you and me had spoken about. PSA, CGC, and BGS are now all taking grading submissions as well, which is huge. I expect nothing less having Charlie involved and his connection in the grading industry. Huge tick in my book, though, as well.
Yeah, no. I'm excited. I'm excited to send a couple of testers off, and I will do so once our product hits, and I have, a product to rip. So we will get there and do that. Looking forward to having some boxes on the shelf, having some singles in the store, running a few little learn to plays for people to get around and see what they think and see how they enjoy it. So, PSA, CGC, and BGS, you get them. If you get there, they're like willing to grade your cards, you're doing the right thing straight off the bat.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Exactly right. And I suppose the last thing I wanted to mention as well was MetaZoo were at CollectorCon recently. Was that last weekend?
No, 3 weeks ago now, I think.
Okay. And
be three weekends from like this weekend.
Yeah, right. And it was a huge success. I spoke to a few people that were at the con, and they had nothing but rave reviews about the way everything was handled, the professionalism, above and beyond anything else that was there. And again, I saw that they did have a CollectorCon promo. It was cool to see that come back, and it was also the Cumberland Dragon, which was the CollectorCon original promo cards as well. I like that.
Yeah, was too. Yeah. I think did they have a couple of promos there, or was it just the one?
I only remember seeing that one promo, and I think so they launched it on eBay, so you could buy a booster box on eBay, and you got the CollectorCon promo for free. So that was so people that weren't at the con could still get the get the cheese, so to speak. And I really dig that you could actually, there was a way for you to get it. Us being in Australia, that's fantastic.
Yeah, huge. Love it. Anything else? What was there another? You got the release date for Australia? We know what that is.
The release date, I believe the street date was May the 2nd. Am I correct?
Friday 2nd of May, brother. That is our official street date, release date down here in Australia. So like I said before, if you're an Aussie tuning in, you want to check it out, you want to rip some packs, make sure you jump onto Whatnot, the live streaming platform, join up. And you will be able to follow my company, Luna_cards. And then on that Friday, we're going to bust some packs. It's going to be sick.
I can't wait for it. That's only 2 weeks from now. It's the 16th of April we're recording on. So the 2nd of May's, 16 days. It's not long at all, man.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, bro. I'm pumped. Just to have a date. It's good. Yeah. It's we're ready to go. Looking forward to it. It's going to be hella fun. Looking forward to watching the game grow, things changing, things happening, learning new things, experiencing new things, speculating a little bit as we all love to do, and coming back here, every couple of weeks to sit down with you, brother, over a scotch and talk about it.
It feels good. It feels good being able to do this again. And also, I think moving forward, you and me had discussed, obviously, having just mentioned that our street date was the 2nd of May. Some of the guys in the US might be a bit taken aback by that. But obviously, with the scramble to get everything out on time, which you can understand, they kind of they got it out. They did exactly what they said they would do. Obviously, international shipping takes a little bit longer. So we're not sitting here. I'm not upset. It's fine. But I think moving forward for the next sets, now that they've got their timeline, their production timelines, it's all set and it's all done now, that we hopefully will be getting it day and date for the next set.
Yeah, I have it on good authority. That is the intention moving forward. All you need is time, right? And so looking forward to that sort of that experience. Is there anything else you wanted to add in, big fella?
No, just it's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
Thanks for talking about MetaZoo once again.
Thanks for putting the band back together. But that is episode done and dusted. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to check out our socials in the description, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to follow our social links in the description.